What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is the Real Housewives of Miami, Season 5, Episode 14. So, we pick up where we left off. Marisol has showed up. The party can begin. Everybody seems to be happy to see her, except Adriana. Even Nicole seemed to be happy to see her, after initially being like, you know, I ain't too mad that Marisol's not here. But I think, you know, everybody was happy to see her, again, except Adriana. We have a moment to lust over Larson's body, which, listen, I ain't mad about it, okay? Larson has a beautiful body. The girl has pushed out 4 babies, okay? And she has the best body that money can buy. I ain't mad at it. Listen, I ain't mad at the plastic surgery when it looked good. And it looked good. And Julia was admiring her body. And I ain't mad at that either. Julia said, listen, the girl got a nice butt. Why we can't just sit here and admire the butt and the bikini and then the thong and she just showing it all off? I ain't mad at you. So, Larson and Kiki get in the pool, Gertie get in the pool, and they're having fun. They're having a good time. And Adriana says, you know, Marisol, well, before that, Julia is talking to Lisa, and Lisa's talking about Lenny, child. They ain't make her take shots this time, but she's talking about Lenny. And she's just saying how things just aren't good. She said that Lenny tried to give her the, oh, you've been hanging out too much. You've been going out too much. Sir, that, first of all, that does not mean that it's carte blanche for you to go and find a girlfriend just because you feel like I've been hanging out with my friends too much, because you know she wasn't with another man. Okay? So that's number one. Number two, she said she wrote him a letter basically expressing her feelings because, you know, he ain't talking to her. And she said, I don't even think he opened it. I think he just deleted it. Girl, Julia said, cut off all communication. Focus on you and your kids. Get you a good lawyer and let them deal with the rest. You know, sidebar, her lawyer say that she owe him $85,000, but that's another conversation. So then, Adriana said that she wants to talk to Marisol, and she starts talking to Marisol about how she feels like Marisol hasn't been there for her. She said, I've known you longer than everybody else here, and we've been through weddings and funerals and this, that, and the other, and I just feel like you haven't been there for me. And Marisol was like, girl, what you talking about? She said, listen, yes, we have grown apart over the years. We're not as close as we used to be, but I still love you. Like, we're still friends. Like, I still support you. What are you talking about? So then, you know, Alexia, which I feel like Alexia should have stayed out of it, because I understand Alexia's need to defend Marisol just like Julia defends Adriana, but that was probably a conversation that you probably should have just kept over to the side, let them hash it out, because she specifically wanted to talk to Marisol. But she said, well, you know, you didn't invite me to Alexia's birthday party last year, and I felt slighted. And she was like, well, I didn't think you wanted to come. That's always the wrong answer, because the reality is, if I brought it up, it bothered me. So your response is not, well, I didn't think you'd want to come, because I clearly wanted to come because I told you that it bothered me that you didn't invite me, right? She said, well, I thought you were too busy, or something to that effect. Again, wrong answer. Don't speak for my time, because again, if I'm opening myself up to tell you this bothered me, don't try to throw it back on me and, oh, well, I didn't invite you because I didn't think you'd be invited. I mean, I'd be interested. I didn't invite you because you're so busy. Just be like, girl, my bad. Ain't nothing I can do about it now, but my bad. I just, in the moment, my bad. Then Adriana, being the person that she is, that she always has to, you know, go for the jugular, she says, you know, like, there were times when I could have, you know, I've always been a good friend to you. Like, when your ex-boyfriend tried to reach out to me and tried to talk to me, and I told him, this isn't right. But then she proceeds to tell the story about how the ex-boyfriend told her that he never loved loved Marisol. First of all, she said they met on a dating app. Now, I know that on some dating apps, maybe you don't know who the person is until y'all have exchanged certain pleasantries, maybe on the more high-end ones, maybe there are no pictures in the beginning, so people don't, you know, go after people they think have money, whatever. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. But the minute you found out who that person was, there really should have been no more conversation. So the fact that he even had an opportunity to talk to you and tell you, oh yeah, I never loved Marisol, means that you was talking to him too long. You had a conversation with him that exceeded what you should have had. Because he should have, and he should have never felt comfortable enough to tell you some shit like that. Because again, if I'm your friend and I'm repping for you and I'm repping for our friendship, he gonna already know that this is a danger zone. I better not say nothing bad about Marisol. Highway to the danger zone right here. No ma'am. Do not cross this line. Red alert. Then Alexia said something about, well, you had his phone number in your phone. Again, if I'm on a dating app and I run into one of my good friends, not some acquaintance, not somebody I know knew in high school, but one of my good friends, ex-boyfriend, and then why would you tell her he said that? Whether he meant it or not is not the point, because he probably said it to you because he was running game and he was trying to get what he was trying to get out of you. It doesn't matter what his feelings were for Marisol. The fact that you would repeat that to her, you were purposely trying to hurt her. Period. So of course everybody responded to that and was like, damn, like, and of course Marisol, she doesn't let a lot outwardly bother her, but later on when she was talking to Alexia, I could tell it bothered her. And she said in her confessional, she said that broke my heart, that she would tell me he said that. She said, I know he loved me, but that relationship was really bad, and towards the end it was really toxic. And she talked about how hard of a relationship that was, and so why would she throw that in my face? So then they're getting ready for dinner, child, and Larsa goes to apologize to Nicole. Now, I don't know if this happens later on or this already happened and I forgot to mention it, but here's my issue with this whole Larsa telling the lie or the rumor about Dr. Nicole. Marisol admitted, as I think this might have been when they had the brunch over to Alexia's house. Marisol admitted that she was the one that passed on the rumor and that the rumor was true. She said, well, it was true. You did have a relationship and sleep with so-and-so. There's a big difference between I slept with, or I had a relationship with one of my coworkers and I slept with all the doctors in the hospital. Y'all can't see the difference? Y'all can't see that there's a difference in those two statements? A major difference in those two statements? Anyway. So Larsa apologizes to Nicole and says, I feel like we just got off on the wrong foot and we just never quite got back to a good space, and I don't want to fight with you anymore, and I'm sorry, for the things I said that were hurtful. And then Larsa gonna say in her confessional, I'm not sorry about anything I said. I just don't want to fight anymore. Girl. Sidebar. I think this, oh gosh, I almost bit my tongue. I think this is the same resort in the Bahamas that the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills went to. Remember I told y'all about the resort they went to where they had their own suite with their own personal butler, and we saw that they have their own suites with their own personal butlers. And remember, it was the same resort that had their own private island. They have a private island, and I think it's the same name. I really feel like the Belmar was the place where they went. And remember, they sent their private jet to pick the ladies up from Beverly Hills and flew them on their private jet. The resort has its own private jet. Yeah, I think this is the same resort. Now, they didn't need to send a private jet for them, because from Miami to the Bahamas is like a 45-minute flight. Like, that would be a waste of everybody's energy. But I think it's the same place. Anyway, y'all let me know in the comments. Y'all are the Bravo connoisseurs. Y'all tell me if that's the same place or not. Anyway, so they go to dinner. Now, Dr. Nicole went down to the spa and got them a healer. She said, everybody talking about witchcraft and spiritual stuff. Let me go down here to the spa and see if we got somebody that can reverse Uno that. So she found a healer, and she said, we're going to do a rage exercise where we're going to let out the rage. Now, Kiki said, listen, I'm down for the letting out the rage because I got a lot of rage I need to let go of. And let me say this, a sidebar. Last season, we didn't really get a whole lot of Kiki. And let me tell you what we were missing last season with Miss Kiki. We were missing these confessionals, because when I tell you that Kiki's confessionals are on par with my girl from the Real Housewives of Dubai, the one from Ethiopia, Chanel Anan, baby, Kiki and these confessionals are absolutely hilarious to me. Y'all, listen, they are gold, and I hope they bring it up at the reunion, how funny her she has been batting 1,000 all season in these damn confessionals, okay? But Kiki said that she got a lot of rage to let out because she's still dealing from the fact that her man cheated on her, okay? So they're having dinner, and I Dr. Nicole says, Julia, is everything okay? You look like something's going on. You feeling all right? And Julia was like, I'm good. I'm just watching the table. I'm just keeping an eye on everybody else. So Julia said, but I'm wondering if Marisol got my stones. Now, earlier, Marisol said that she threw them stones over the balcony because she said, I don't want nowhere juju, uju, wuju on me because I already feel like somebody done put some witchcraft on me and I don't want to deal with it. So Marisol was like, I got it, thank you, but I didn't touch it. Now, she didn't tell her she threw it over the balcony, but she said, I didn't touch it because I just don't want that on me. And Julia was like, what are you talking about? It was positive. Like, it was nothing bad. It was nothing with any ill intent. And Marisol was like, listen, you may have been well-intentioned. I just don't want no parts of it. I'm sorry. I just don't want no parts of it. And so Julia, Julia was like, well, I didn't see where the problem is. So here come Alexia again. Julia was like, Alexia was like, well, you do look like you're upset or something, and Julia was, I think she even said something about the exercise with the rage. Baby, what she say that for? Julia was like, so what do I need to rage about? What's the issue? She said, I tell you, and Alexia was like, well, I feel like, no, Julia said, well, I feel like you still had a problem with me since Key West. So go ahead and get it out. Say what you need to say. Go ahead and say what you need to say. She said, you sitting over there looking like an old barracuda. Baby, why they Google Barracuda at the table and they was passing that phone around giggling? Julia and Alexia were arguing. Alexia got mad talking about some late girls, this is serious right here. And they were like, girl, we just Googled Barracuda. We just want to know what it looked like. And we just laughing. Y'all go ahead and finish arguing. We going to laugh about the Barracuda. So Julia was like, listen, I still feel some kind of way about the things you said when we were down to the Key West. And it still bothers me. And for you now to be like, I have rage, like you're throwing that on me. I don't have no rage. Okay? I'm good. That's your issue, not my issue. So then Larsa gets in. I don't know why Larsa's in it. I don't know what Larsa has to do with this. But Larsa interjects and she starts talking about people who have hidden issues and they need to go ahead and just get on the table and say what they need to say. And she starts talking about how Adriana called ladies some bitches, right? Larsa just wanted to throw that out there and let everybody know that Adriana called them some bitches. Adriana was like, girl, it was just like a term of endearment. Like, I was like, oh, these bitches. But no, that is not how you meant it, Adriana. You were serious and you meant what you said about these bitches. Like, you were serious about it. So, of course, Adriana got to arguing with Larsa and they got to going back and forth. And Adriana ended up throwing her drink because Larsa... She said something to Larsa. Larsa was like, girl, I will beat your ass. I said, oh. She said, I will beat your ass. And she said, see, it's the calm ones you got to worry about. Larsa said that thing so calm. Larsa was like, I will beat your ass. I felt that in my bone. I felt that in my spirit when she said that. She meant that thing. And Julia was like, because Julia was like, Alexia, you the one with the rage. You yelling at people. You throwing that. You yelled at Adriana's boyfriend. You yelled at Dr. Nicole. Like, you the one with the rage issues. But baby, once she threw that drink, Kiki got up and said, where's that healer? Emergency. We got an emergency. We need an emergency rage issue. So they end up taking Adriana over to the healer. And she was talking to the healer. And listen, I don't like Adriana's behavior, and it gets worse, but in this moment I understood what Adriana was upset about, and I understood where this was coming from. Adriana is lonely, and she is afraid that she is going to always be lonely. And I do think that there's a level of jealousy that she has. Alexia said that last episode, that there's some jealousy there because Alexia has been able to find love again. Marisol has been able to find love again, and Adriana is still looking. And I agree. I don't agree with a lot of Alexia says, but on that one, I think I do agree. Because Adriana was crying, and she made the comment. She said, I'm scared that when I die, no one is going to find me. It's just going to be me and my dog. She said, and I'm afraid that no one is going to know that I'm dead. Because she feels like she doesn't have anybody that cares enough about her that's going to check on her on any kind of a regular basis, and that she's just going to go unmissed. That is a hard place to be. That's a hard place to be. I live alone. Well, I don't live alone, but I have lived alone. You do think about those things. Like if you coming down the steps too fast and you almost slip and you think, damn, if I fell down the steps, would nobody know? You know, one time I was sitting here eating and I damn near choked. I'd be like, damn, would nobody know? That is a real thought when you live by yourself. As much as I love living alone, well, mostly alone, um, it's a thought. And so in that moment, I understood where she was coming from, where Adriana was coming from. It does not give you the right to be a bitch, which is what she ends up being, and pushing it out on everybody else. Use your words. Stop bringing up old stuff. Well, I feel like you neglected me. Because here's the reality: the phone goes both ways. So, okay, they didn't invite you to the birthday party. Call them in the moment. Say, look, let's go out to lunch because I feel some kind of way about not being included. Anyway, so we end up having the rage exercise. Kiki done peed on the beach. Listen, I don't know what to do with Kiki. She reminds me so much of Chanel Anon and her antics, because I feel like that's something Chanel would have done. I feel like Chanel would have stood right over there just like Kiki did and peed in that water and washed her hands in the beach and kept it moving. Now, in the grand scheme of things, I feel like we've all peed in the ocean. I just think maybe most of us have not done it on TV. Okay? Anyway, so they have the rage exercise. They let out all the rage, child. They screaming and hollering on the beach. And I'm saying Chanel. Kiki and Gertie end up, I don't know how they end up doing it, but Kiki was holding up Gertie, and Gertie was like, don't you drop me, don't you drop me. And of course, she dropped her child. And she ended up, honestly, Lisa got hit worse than Adriana did, but Adriana said that they broke her foot. Now listen, when the production played that scene back, it don't even look like they hit that girl foot. But I do feel like she probably twisted her ankle, or it looked like what happened was she was running and she probably came down wrong on her ankle while she was trying to get out of the way. I do not feel like they landed on her foot, which is what she tried to say, that they landed on her foot. And I don't think that's what happened. But it does not matter, because from that point forward, Adriana was going to soak up all of the attention she was getting. Child, she had them people carrying her. First, the spiritual healer carried her. And you got this woman carrying your ass. Then the paramedics came through and they wrapped up her ankle. Then she had them people carry her ass. She ain't limp. She ain't, girl. And so why everybody left her on that beach though? Wasn't nobody on that beach with Adriana except for Julia. Everybody went to bed. They was like, girl, look. Now, I'm sure we're getting the edited version. So they probably were with her until the medics arrived and all that good stuff. But the way it was edited, it looked like everybody went to bed and left her ass there with the damn medical staff and Julia child. But then the next day, why is she in a wheelchair? And let me say this. I ain't even mad about her being in the wheelchair. I'm mad that when they got on the boat, she sat there and let them people keep carrying her and lifting her on the boat. Even when they was on the boat dancing to her song and they were trying to get a group picture, why she make them people carry her to where everybody else was to get on that, like the little couch thing to take a picture? Girl, you can limp. You can limp your happy ass over. I said it was probably 5 steps. Why she got these people carrying her like she is the Queen of Sheba? Now, while they were waiting for them to show up in the damn wheelchair, Nicole was telling them how she called back to the little shop where Julia got the stones from and found out that it is not a witchcraft shop. It is just like a gift shop that sells little like souvenirs. Okay, it is not that deep. It is not that serious. There's no evil hex. There's no witchcraft. There's no boo da 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 that they're trying to say. Okay. So they go out on the boat. They're dancing to Julia's song. And in her confessional, she says, well, you know, I feel like my song was the healing power we needed. I feel like my song brought us all together. It made me feel good that we were all sitting on the boat dancing to my song. I feel like that's just what this group needed. That was the healing power we needed. 5 minutes later, she's in her confessional complaining about how everybody's being selfish because all of them went and got in the water. Kiki went topless, of course. All of them got in the water and they left her there by herself, and she felt like they weren't, they were being inconsiderate. Girl, what did you want them to do? Did you want them to sit there with you under that umbrella all damn day? Because they told you to come and bring your ass in the water. Like, what did you want them to do? Now, I don't recommend her getting in the water because, you know, that sand is not stable. And if you already have a bad balance, it's not going to end well. But, girl, what did you want them to do? Now, they could have, the best thing I feel like they could have done is maybe got one of the beach attendants to set up a chair with an umbrella right on the water where she could still like put her feet in the water and feel the water coming in and the waves coming in and out. But other than that, girl, I know you didn't think they was going to sit there with you under that damn umbrella all day and not get in the water. Girl, if you don't go sit down somewhere. So then when they come back from out of the water, she tells them that she feels like they're not being considerate of her because she has an injury. And girl, they were like, girl, you twisted your ankle. It is not that serious. They were like, what are you talking about? Well, I mean, they said, and, you know, they were like, it's just an accident. It's not that serious, girl. Well, accidents have consequences. I mean, you know, Alexia, like Frankie, baby, what'd she say that for? I think that is probably the most disrespectful thing she could say and the most misguided thing she could say. Girl, why you bring up Frankie? Your little twisted ankle is in no way, shape, or form anywhere close to comparing yourself to a man that almost died. She talking about something, I broke my foot. I could have lost my foot. Girl, where? In what world could you have lost your foot? And even if you did, let's assume for a minute that you did. Let's assume for a minute that your accident, them falling on your foot, did result in them having to amputate your foot. It still does not compare to what Frankie has been through. Are you serious right now? And y'all know that Alexia is about to give it to her. And I don't blame her. I'm here for this, Alexia. Lay her out. Cuss her out in English. Cuss her out in Spanish. Cuss her out in 20 other languages that I don't even know you speak. But girl, give it to her. Full throttle. Anyway, that's the episode. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.